Don't break. You don't have no reason to do it. Get up. Don't pull my clothes down. Don't ever do it. Put your hat on her.
What would you do if that was your child in that videotape? We are talking about who is watching your children. My next guest believes that there is a child care crisis in this country, and we need to make legislative changes just to protect our children. And you say we need to do it now. She is also the editor-in-chief of Parents Magazine. You met her earlier in the show. She's a mom first who does not believe in spanking. Then where did her daughter get spanking from when she started spanking her little doll? I want you to welcome Ann Plachette Murphy. Welcome, Ann. You came home one day and you saw something different in your child.
Yeah, we were playing, and she was scolded. She was very articulate. She was not even 2 years old, and she was saying bad, bad, you know, and spanking this little doll of hers. And I said, who spanks you? You know, I didn't do it in a hysterical way, although the hair on the back of my neck was standing on end. And she said, you know, gave me the name of the child care provider. And, you know, I tried to remain calm. I was very upset. I spoke to my husband. I mean, when you go through something like this, and I did confront her, and I said, look, I don't know, you know, when this has happened, I don't ever want it to happen again. And she said, oh, no, it never happened, never happened. And then she burst into tears. We had one other incident, which was not a spanking incident, but it was clear that she was not up to the job.
What was her explanation for doing that?
She denied it. And I just felt this was, you know, my daughter had named her. This had come out of nowhere. This was clearly a sign that this was not a good match. She was not the right person. And, you know, the sad thing, these videotapes are just excruciating to watch.
They really are.
I have to say, though, that the sad fact is that kids are abused at the hands of people who claim to love them the most. Their parents, grandparents have been shown to be not the greatest child care providers. If they don't want to be there, they are worse than a professionally trained child care provider.
How do you explain that to your child after something like this? You've dismissed the
nanny.
nanny.
I mean, in my child's case, I actually went and saw a psychiatrist, a friend of mine, and I said, oh my God, have I ruined my child's life? And he said, look, you know, children are very resilient. It is incredibly upsetting and guilt-provoking to feel your child has been abused like this, but this is not going to ruin her life. She has a loving home. You'll find someone who does love her, who can take care of her. And I think that's true. I mean, my daughter is thriving and terrific, and was, you know, 2 months later.
You were going as far as to call for legislative changes.
Well, I feel, and this is what I was saying before, that this is an issue we cannot ignore. None of us. This is not a working mother's issue. This is an issue that affects every employer, because 2/3 of American workers who have kids under 13, you know, they need somebody to take care of their kids. Who in the audience gets a child care credit at work if they need to pay for child care? You know, how many people have access to affordable quality child care? How many nannies are valued for the work they do, paid what they deserve to be paid, trained to do the work they do? I mean, you know, it's a terrible situation. And we can't just blame, you know, Michelle can't feel that this is her fault. I think that we all are responsible for this. We have to push for the kind of tax credits that everybody gives lip service to right before the elections, and then they all go away.
And they go away.
And we have to ask employers and say, look, you know, I'm a better employee because you help me pay for child care or sick child care or vouchers. There are lots of possibilities.
When we come back, Rebecca, I'm going to get right to you. But I want to give you 5 key questions that you might want to ask a nanny in an interview. And we'll get right back to you there in just a minute. Get some audience questions as well. We'll be back.
Respect me. I'm a babysitter. Use the next one. I like to follow Aaron.